In today's episode, we will be scouting for new missions, building a new shipyard to build ships for trading, and expanding our governor's villa. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rilo, and welcome back to Anno. So in our previous episode, we were focusing on putting up these lavender fields and then setting up our nice little soap production here at the end. And this is mainly to cater for the requirements for the plebeians. We do have a small shortage of the lavender, as lavender does take some time to actually produce, and you need quite a lot of lavender fields to be very, very effective. And later we will start investigating into more of these political buildings over here that we can get, like your villa sets and the officeum, which we can add different, I believe it's specialities for that area, which we will try and focus on. Today we're going to do some specialities today, as well as in future episodes, to increase the productivity with smaller sizes, because that's going to be a really important thing with Anno, especially with the limited island size that we do have. So for today's episode, I want to focus on building out the area around the Governor Villa, since we do have these two specialities for increased workforce and then the one for health, which I think we can apply now that we are there. So in fact, this will really benefit this area here with a lot of workforce. So we need to try and make it as dense as possible, but still making sure that we cover all of the requirements that we have for the specialities that we currently do have applied. We need to keep in mind that if we ever have some confrontation with any of the other factions, they will try and focus the governor's villa, because it's like your town center essentially. So we will need to might have set up defenses and build some walls and stuff, but we'll get to that hopefully in a future episode as well. So yeah, with that said, we can get started. I see the Emperor wants to meet with me. You stand in the presence of Emperor Ganius Firmius Calidus, former legate of the Legion. He nods as he surveys you before breaking out a childish grin with teeth. Hail him, yeah.
Kissing my cheeks. I like it.
We kind of need to make sure that our relations with him is in good standing. And we will most likely, I believe this is his villa, I think. So, no, it's not. I just need to see, there will be some missions here and some stuff that we can buy, and over here we can buy some specialties, so we will need to look at these every now and then. You see, like this one increases the productivity by 10%, so that is definitely something that we can consider moving forward. But for now, we can start expanding our area here around our little governor's villa. I've already expanded a few of these homes, so we will just continue on with expanding this area just so that we can make it as dense as possible. Like I said, we also just need to keep into account that we have enough resources to cater for all of these guys, because that will definitely be something that we will need to be worried about. This is a bit of a difficult one with the sizing that it has, so maybe this wasn't the best way of building it. So for now, I'll just build these rows, and I'll add a market and all of the other needed buildings that we will have. So I'll just easily build it out. And then we will need a warehouse. That's going to be for the buildings that will increase the happiness, etc. And now we need to look at building your market. And a tavern. And on this side, I believe I'd need a market here as well. And let's build a tavern right next to it. There we go. Well, it's a bit of wasted space here at the bottom. What I can actually do is I can remove this bottom row. And then that should be good enough to add a row of villas or homes. There we go. And then yeah, we should be able to add an additional row over here, like such. Oh wow, I don't even have enough wood. That's interesting. But that's all good. What we need to really look at is for fire. Fire is a very big pain sometimes. and health, because we need to increase the happiness, because I think you may cause some riots within your city if you don't have all of that needed requirements met. So again, these things have that positive effect. I believe it increases the income, and this one also increases the income and happiness, so always a good thing to have it here, especially, let me see, this is going to be a problem. I'm going to have to remove those. I'll build something else in here, because we will definitely need some way to connect the aqueducts and stuff. But this is mainly for income. So we'll just add them there. And that should be okay for now. Cool. Let's add some houses on the other side of this. Try and add a few bigger blocks. One thing to remember, once we upgrade the road type, the range of the buildings will increase quite a decent chunk. So we don't need to stress too much about the range these buildings are covering. They will, like I said, they will expand quite a bit. So we can place them quite loosely for now. But we will definitely need to improve it in due course. So make sure all of the...
dissatisfied with their lot and may soon revolt.
Are dissatisfied with their lot? Is there something that I'm missing? I believe it's just the happiness that's not great. Yeah. Okay, I need to increase the happiness quite a decent amount. Just don't know what can I do to increase you guys' happiness. Let's see. I believe it's most likely due to the fact that I don't have enough fire stations and also enough health. Okay, well that's for health. And this will be for happiness, okay. So we will need to build some police stations or custodians just to take care of them. And then for these guys as well, we also need to cover this area quite well. Since there's going to be a lot of people living here, that is something that we need to take care of. The threat is somewhat low, and we do have a festival, so I highly doubt that we will run into problems. We do have a bit of a wood problem, so we might need to expand our production of wooden planks. So our wood storage isn't that great, but we definitely need that. Cool. Some research that we can start queuing. So we need to think about what our future goals will be and our future needs. So I mean, we do need improved fire detergents, so definitely something that we can research. And then also happiness, which will be for the increased custodies availability. And then military, not that much just yet. We maybe want to have a look at paved roads, but we don't have concrete yet, so that's not something that we can really pursue. And this is just an income area effect from a fishing out and stuff, but we don't really need that. But that is one of the paths that we need to go down towards. And then also we need these two for some watchtowers and wells for water. And then this will be an additional what's this? An additional thing to worship, so that we can get some, I think it's Cult of Minerva. I'm not too sure what bonuses we get from that, but that will be something important to take note of. Alright, so we need some additional wood production, so I'm gonna put these two here just in the meantime. I should be close enough to the warehouse, I believe. Yeah, so that additional wood will definitely be very much appreciated. Seems like we did get a decent chunk, so let's go ahead and upgrade these guys and build them accordingly. So you'll see my workforce has increased drastically, and that's all because of this, because it increases them by 20%. So making sure that these guys' needs are met and that they are happy is the way to go, and that's what we want to focus on. Okay, so missing goods. Okay, we don't have the needed hemp. Let's just see, do I have any shortage of anything? Okay, so the production of hemp is definitely a shortage, so we will need to add some additional hemp farms. So one thing about Anno, which does sometimes become a bit difficult and a bit of a pain, is that you have to keep expanding on your existing ability of producing certain resources. It makes sense. It does become somewhat tedious at times, but for what we need, you will having enough of those specialities within your city will definitely help, especially if you can increase the production, and as soon as you get some access to aqueducts, you can also really improve the productivity of these buildings. There we go, that should be enough for the production of hemp, and we shouldn't run behind. And then we just need to see for sheep, all of that is still fine. And then for, yeah, so everything still seems very hunky-dory. We are all good. All good. We're just waiting for some wood to be produced. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for some of our wood to be produced and start expanding a little bit more, and then I'll get back once we have a nicely settled area around our little governor villa here, so that we can continue on focusing on improving the resource requirements met, and then hopefully maybe moving towards Albion as well. Well, I've seemed to have run into a little bit of a problem. They warned me about it, but it seems like there is a massive fire that broke out. And this is with the initial section here that we've built out in some of our earlier episodes. And it seems like it's not going all that well. They are handling it, but this does have quite a big impact on, yeah, the residents here's happiness, but that should be sorted out quite soon. They are tending to it, but yeah, something very painful actually that ran in. If this wasn't catered for, we would have had a lot of problems. But anyway, I have expanded a little bit. Some of these buildings have been built, especially the one for the Patreon that do worship, and then also the public service for the Grammaticus. And we have increased our total knowledge to almost 1.6, which is really good. Haven't really expanded too much on the living areas. I did make sure that we are producing more porridge, because porridge is also one of the bigger resources, the more important resources we do have, but we can see that the output is full, so don't really have to worry about that much. And then also the fish production over here. There was also quite a lack in fish. It was going down quite significantly, so I had to make sure that we do have enough fish. So we are all a-okay with that for now. Runes, yeah, we can rebuild these runes. Don't want to keep them there, especially for the income that those things provide. So yeah, we'll keep those sorted. Alright, I think what we can do is we can start leveling up some of these to plebeians. That is going to be very helpful. You'll see our income is going to jump up quite dramatically as these guys start to move in. Because the income is probably one of the more important things to make sure that it is high and stable. And our workforce will also really improve since of the effects that we currently have here. But we can still expand on this a little bit. I think here to the right hand side we can start expanding a few places. You'll just build these few blocks. I think these will still be vertical upwards. There we go. Ah, those are too far. It's fine, I'll fix it now. These are a little bit too far. They need to be attached to that already. So, there we go. Increased our city status. It's a growing town. That's wonderful. That's exactly what we want. Our resources are still quite a bit constrained, but what I want to do now is I want to take our ship. I believe our ship is here at the end. And I want to navigate to this location here. And I want to see what we can buy, because there's a few things here that we might be able to buy and make use of. So this just reduces the workforce needed, increases the hit points, so nothing too important, but like this, something like this, it increases the income of that area by 1, which is really powerful. But this is I think it's a rare item. Some of those items you get that are legendary, but they are super expensive. Oh, this is not my boat. That's fine. I believe this is the pirate. Okay, that boat just jumped around very funnily. So that's the pirate that we'll need to take care of. So in every Anno game, there's always a pirate per region, and this pirate, you will have to manage your relations. You can defeat the pirate, but it's quite a difficult thing to do. But that is something that we will get to a bit later. So we'll need to look at the following needs. Okay, that still needs a sanctuary. Bit out of range, but that's okay. You will need to get clay. We do have clay, and I believe amber, and then also olives. So we'll need to look for a island that has all of those resources, which I don't think there is any. I think we found one that is very small, but that's not really gonna do what we need to do. But for now, we need to look at building a shipyard, because you also want to produce some ships. They are very important for us, especially moving forward. Especially if you want to do some more trading in between our little settlements, which is something that we will definitely need to do, so we need those ships to do that. What gift does this guy give me? Wow, 10,000 denarii. That's really cool. Now we need to expand on rope production, and yeah, I'm only gonna build like one of each. It's not something that we will really care about too much. There we go. Just so that we do build those things up while we are busy building everything else. Yeah, we can customize the ships, you can configure them the way you want to, but we will get to those ships once we have the needed resources. But for now, we just need to make sure that our economy is in a good state and we have the needed workforce, because workforce is the one thing that will definitely bite you. Right, we can build a few of those. I believe our ship is strongly on its merry way to where it needs to be. Oh, I paused the game. New island milestone reached. Cool, we get different bonuses for the amount of believers that we have for an island. So it's really cool. So for this one we get increased productivity, which is wonderful. But I believe it's only for these different buildings here. So increased production of bread, like the porridge chains. So it's the different chains. It's really powerful. So I mean, from food perspective, we are perfect. We are sorted. I think we can actually set up some trading. So trades is one way to gain additional income. So this whole chain, like I said, will gain increase in production, etc. So for this we can say we can sell. So you can sell when this is above, let's make it 60, no, let's make it 50. And the minimum stock that we need is at least 40. So meaning if there's a surplus, the AI will come around and they will then come and buy those resources from you. So it's something very important to build as we progress through the game. Right, so you can actually start building these constructions of the custodias. They are very important for the happiness, and yeah, you see the happiness is quite low. It's in the negatives, which, yeah, that's not something that we can feel very proud of, but it is what it is for now. We will improve it as we go along. But yeah, we have a lot of workers here. They need a pub. A pub is very important, so we can build a pub over here. That should be okay. There we go. Don't think a pub is that expensive. It just needs some more wood. So that's cool. Let's just build a road, and then we can continue expanding this area just a tiny bit more. So I want to see up until where it goes. Okay, so they've kind of fall outside of the jurisdiction of that area, but that's fine. We need to start building here around to make sure that all of that is reached. Fish markets was discovered. Fantastic. That is great news. And our ship is now here. So we do have the option to buy some of these ships. This does seem to be more of a warship. It has ship archers as well as the ship Scorpion. And this one is just a normal ship with some increased ship hull. That's how you can customize the ships within the game itself, which is actually really cool. And there's 4 missions that we also need to do. Let's see. Yeah, let's go and focus on this mission. Okay, so that's quite the ways. I don't think there's anything that I want to buy from her just yet. Ship, there's some ship stuff. That might actually be a strong one. Let's buy that one. It's going to increase the ship's movement speed. Especially if you want to use a ship for different kinds of missions. So those things are very valuable. So like this.
No shame in a little spree,
Yeah,
governor.
let's buy this guy.
Let's get started then.
And that's then applied to the ship. So that makes the ship quite... Well, that thing is very fast. So it makes it a little bit faster, and then the negative effect from the wind is mitigated. So yeah, this ship will now move extremely fast, as you can see. So pretty cool stuff that you can do in Anno. When I initially played Anno, I never really focused on those different sections of the game, but they are very important, and it can make you extremely powerful. You underestimate the usefulness of the specialities that you get. Just want to finish upgrading these buildings. Don't have enough wood again, but that's all fine. I think from a villa perspective, we've really done quite a decent amount. We have a lot of workers that we've brought in. You will definitely increase the research levels that we do get. I might just need to build one of these sanctuaries here to the top side as well. So maybe there should be some space here. You see that slot is a little bit too small. Let's put it here. Maybe there's something else that can fit into that small space. Let's see, maybe the production of... Yeah. Let's see, this increases some income. Yeah, let's do that. As we do actually need to get these Pilus Felter stuff completed. This one, we just need 4 more wood, then that can be built. Let's just build our little homes here at the top. What's that? Why didn't that build? There we go. And then upgrade some of the residences. Yeah, so income is almost at 1,000. That is really, really good. You can see our total residences, or the income that we get from them, is steadily increasing. And our balance is also increasing to quite a high number. We should be able to get 1,000, I believe, really, really soon. But, yeah, whoa, this guy's place looks really cool. This is where we are heading for our villa. Trying to make sure that we have some walls around it to protect it. Yeah, because that is something very, very important to do. Since the power that the villa has, we definitely need to make sure that it is protected adequately. Let's upgrade. I believe I can upgrade these 6. And all of their needs should be met, yeah. And this should also increase a bit by bit. And we have reached 1,000 income. That is perfect. So I think I'm going to end off the episode here for now. We'll definitely continue on with finishing off the villa area and then go to Albion after we've found some of the needed resources that we do need to build the amorphrey and the olive oil. I butchered that name entirely, but that's fine. And then we can, if we want to move on to the 3rd or further than the 3rd level, we definitely need to go to Albion to get some cheese, I believe. From there, yeah, so we'll get to that in the next episode. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.